Welcome back to the game, everybody. We have finally gotten into it. We got very close there to having a forfeit. Thankfully, Circular Spheres and Panic are ready to go. They're ready to rumble. We've got a skyscraper, Mandy. And for these two teams right on the border, 5th and 6th, right on the edge of those playoff spots, this game actually does mean a lot. You wouldn't want to leave it up to a forfeit.
Yeah, absolutely, especially for Circular Spheres, who unfortunately had a massive blunder in Week 1, have now activated themselves in Week 2, but they need to stay on the winning train if they want to actually land their spot inside of the playoffs. Panic, though, they've surprised us quite a lot through the last couple of weeks of OCE League. We didn't expect them to be good at all, and then they came in and they beat some pretty crazy teams.
They certainly have.
It's been good.
Yeah, and judging by the social vote, 89% in favor of Circular Spheres, it seems like everyone in the community is very much biased to the Week 2 results. Because as you said, Mandy, Circular Spheres Week 1, they did not win a round. 0 and 14 in rounds. Week 2 comes along. They almost 7-0 Kelton's Knights. It ends up a 7-3. That was actually on this map, funnily enough. And then they 7-0 6 targets. So we almost saw Circular Spheres go 14 and nothing the week after going nothing and 14. And yeah, if they can continue the form of last week, I would absolutely back them in to take down Panic, who, as you said, they've had a good surprise for us. Like, you know, they took down 6 targets in Odium, but they've also had some pretty shocking results. Their most recent one getting 7-0'd by Antic just last playday.
Yeah, I mean, for Circular Spheres, the asterisk to me on the skyscraper result against Kelton's Knights is that they did start on the defending side of the map, right? But now, they're starting on the attacking side of the map, and that makes me a little more nervous. It makes me think it will be a little closer than we anticipate it to be, but you never know. You never know.
It's true. You never know. That's why we have to play the game. If we knew, we wouldn't actually have to play the games, would we?
I guess so.
No.
Yeah.
It's kind of good that we don't know.
Yes.
But I'm not going to toot my own horn, but I am going to toot my own horn. I actually have the highest prediction rate so far. I don't know if you know that. I don't know if you're aware of that. Rob's telling me that I'm a loser.
I concur.
I mean, I'm winning the predictions. That doesn't sound like something that would happen to a loser, does it?
Well, it's also because I think I'm coming last from the predictions right now.
Oh, so you're the loser.
Yeah, I'm the real loser.
Are you actually coming last?
Really? You're just a big nerd.
Thank you.
Makes you a loser.
Thank you. But nerds are cool. Didn't you know that? It's 2024
Is that, like,
now.
That's
Nerds are cool
in?
now. Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
No. You're a loser.
All right, Mandy, all right.
Okay.
Let's dig into the game, though. We've already seen 2 very frustrating operators in the recent meta banned out. Some of my faves, personally.
Yes, Monty seems to be rather important on this map. Or maybe it just gets played a lot and it's not actually that important, but people like it because it's like a comfortable way to get inside the map. So Skyscraper, one of those maps where entry points are not super viable. There are not that many safe ways to like get yourself in the interior of the building, right? So Monty is one of those ways that you can enable yourself to get in. So that being taken out does make me think that Circular Spheres, leaning probably more into the limited cutoffs that there are to try and find those opening picks, or actually just brute forcing their way on in, really. That seems to be the Circular Spheres MO.
Very true. But what we do have, Mandy, we've got Thatcher, we've got Maverick, all these hard breach enabling operators. But on the flip side, we also have all the hard breach counters on defense in the Kaid, the Bandit, even the Mute, everything you could possibly want. All those big hitting operators except for the Valkyrie and Fenrir, the Solus, for example, which we are seeing here picked by Panic in the opening round. And notably the Echo, an operator that does sneak in there every now and then. Very powerful, and yeah, I do love it when he gets picked.
Echo's a weird operator these days, I think. Like, he's in a very strange spot in the defense, especially when... I don't really know how to say it, but I feel like the game's slowed down a lot. It's like, it's weird to have like a character like Echo where you are like, you're already quite separated from the... Anyway, that's very nerdy. It doesn't really matter that much, to be honest.
I thought you didn't like nerds. You do. You are a big nerd. Deep down. You're nerdier than me.
Nah.
You are nerdier than me, admit it.
Hell no, absolutely not. I'm normal.
I'm normal. We just had an audible laughter from Rob on the couch.
I'm normal. I'm the normal one. That's like my whole thing on the on the title with it.
I don't think any of us on the OCE League are normal, and certainly that definitely, unfortunately, is the case as well for Circular Spheres. As we can see, some of these bloody names are still yet to be changed.
Oh dear. Anyway, so Panic, we haven't spoken about this yet, but they've actually gone down to what we would consider a tertiary bomb site typically, going down to Kitchen and Barbecue, I believe it is, over on the other side of the map. Meanwhile, side for Circular Spheres, seems like they're looking to do a sweep across the map. Pinku, who's been pretty solid, to be honest, for Circular Spheres, the highest rated player by far on this team since rejoining them in Playday 2. Panic not looking for that much of an extension over on the other side of the map. Like, yes, it's aided by the Souls a little bit. I wonder what the Yokais are doing, potentially supporting that top floor as well on the side of River.
Oh, here we go. Oh, nice little spot in the mezzanine here.
That's cool.
The other one's at the bottom of restaurant. So a lot of late round information here.
I would say mid-round, to be honest, mid-round information, because by the time that these attackers hit the middle of the map, which is, that shrine-type area, that mezzanine-type area, then that's where the Yokai drones are going to have the most impact in terms of info, right? So first pick, regardless, is going to go the way of, I don't know who that is, of Goofed. Meanwhile, the Geisha wall's being opened as well, so Karma is in a bit of a pickle in his situation in Geisha, but should be able to get out here with good timing.
Yeah, he's also got a shield to play off as well, and if I was in his shoes, I'd probably continue trying to play this spot. The problem is once that shield is gone, he is fully trapped, so he needs to decide whether he wants to hang on a little bit longer and potentially risk overstaying his welcome, but he could have huge impact. Not sure where that damage went down. Oh, here we go. It is Chikena at Shrine, starting to take control of this top floor, but as you said, this is where the Yokai is going to come into play.
Yeah, that's exactly right. At this point, there should be enough info on the remaining players in the top floor at this point, at least going their way on inside of... I can't even remember what that room is called. Oh my gosh, the tea room. I don't know why, I can never remember the tea room. Regardless, here we go. Here's Pinku, who should be spotted out by a Yokai drone right now, as the defenders are going to choose to pick that battle against them. Nice shot from Shant from down low. Is going to hold on to the bomb site for a little bit longer. Swing from Karma as well inside of Geisha, was being pressured out, but finds good timing onto Pinku. 3-on-3 now. Tough spot for Circular Spheres to convert.
Oh, and that kill needed to come out. That was really well played there. Physics coming in from the side. And, yeah, okay, big kills there. Does put Circular Spheres in the advantage on the attack. But time is ticking away, and these Yokais are still up. Now, River has to be careful, because he wants to be denying this plant at the 0-0, and he needs to make sure he's not in a vulnerable position. Sean is there holding the line, but the double drop, comes down for Circular Spheres. 20 seconds to play. Bit of a wallbang happening from River. Sean from the backstab does bring it back to even numbers, but he goes down. And that does put Panic in the driver's seat this round, except for the fact that they have all fallen to pieces one by one. Circular Spheres convert that 3 versus 3 in the narrow half of the round.
Yeah, great. I would say like situational awareness, I think, from Circular Spheres in the top floor. They realized what they had to do to isolate that player inside of Geisha. Karma, I think, overstaying his welcome a little bit after getting that first pick and then not being able to fall off because they'd made such good headway inside of the top floor despite there being the info on them. So yeah, I think Circular Spheres from that point on just really had to identify where Shant was, find the point to drop down safely, take him out. Yeah, I thought that was really well played there from Circular Spheres. They realized what they needed to do and they doubled down on those win conditions.
Biggest nerd, Dev or Mandy, vote in chat. I cannot wait to see the
You've definitely won this one.
You definitely have
100%.
Win this one?
100%.
Nah, we'll see, we'll see. I'm wondering whether we're seeing.
Are we going to get to know the results? Because like we can't see the chat.
I can open
right?
the chat.
So
I could open.
well, we can't see the.
I could open
yeah,
it on my
true.
laptop.
That makes a lot of sense.
I have a laptop, Mandy. I can go to twitch.tv/rainbow6 and look at the chat.
Yeah.
That is how it works.
Yep. Been mansplained the Twitch chat. Yep.
Damn, I just got caught mansplaining on broadcast. Well, I guess my career's over.
Okay, so Panic, realizing that they've gone down and lost the kitchen, are going to bring us up one floor exactly over into Karaoke and Tea Room itself. They are looking to extend the map this time around, though. Some pretty cheeky mute jammers over all the way inside of the exhibition will make the clear a little bit more difficult for Circular Spheres. Once again, Pinku is going to spearhead this push on the entry, opening up this exhibition window, seeing what he can get done.
Yeah, I think Circular Spheres will have a bit of confidence now, right? Because they've just won an attack on Skyscraper, which is quite difficult to do so. They won all 6 defenses last time they played here, and it took them 4 rounds to get their first attack win. But of course, Panic took a massive risk by going to that tertiary bomb site, as you described last round. I think that was a very poor choice from them. They've allowed Circular Spheres to gain a little bit of confidence moving in, and now we go to the more common bomb site choice. Circular Spheres already have that momentum on their side, and we can see that clearing this map. And also pressure put on Geisha, so I really like this from Circular Spheres. They're not overcommitting to any singular push, they're just keeping their options open.
So this can be quite tough to do on Skyscraper, right? Even if you try and open up a lot of pressure, there isn't that many viable cutoff angles. There's very limited amounts of them. So yeah, even though they've opened up Geisha, they still do need to at least try and make an entry work, but that hasn't quite gone their way either. Realiz sinks a really nice C4 onto Pinku all the way over on the other side of the map. So far so good for Panic. I think as long as Panic sort of like pick their battles here well, they like hold on to good power positions, they shouldn't face too much trouble, I think. Circular Spheres look like they're taking a lot of time to get stuff done.
Yeah, but there has been another pick coming down in favor of Panic Karma with that ACOG. Jakenna's just looking for some kind of a reply here, close to sight, but he gets wide swung by Sean. So Panic firmly in control of this round, and realistically, there's very little that Japer and Physics can do. Japer's position revealed by the Banshee. Physics is trying to support him. He does find the initial pick onto Karma, who, by the way, had a very poor previous game for Panic. Here comes Shont, though, and he catches Japer completely unawares. Massive round from Sean, who seems to be coming into form for Panic as they have recomposed quite handily after that first round.
Yeah, I think solid round there from Panic on the defense. They just looked like they were holding on to their power positions, really, and not overextending, not deciding to go and take big gunfights in the middle of the map or anything like that. They realized that Circular Spheres were taking a lot of time to get things done. Like, yes, the walls were being opened, but like, you know, the nature of Skyscraper is that the architecture is it's hard to capitalize on some of those exterior walls being opened up anyway. Cutoffs are quite hard to play as well, so I think, yeah, Panic just holding on to their ground, making sure they didn't make any silly mistakes, and that often wins rounds on the defending half of this map.
Yeah, being really slow and boring and passive actually works great on Sky.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's why I still think that it was probably a bad decision for Panic to go to that tertiary bomb site first. Just a little bit unnecessary. Clearly, they're going to have more luck on these primary bomb sites. Exhibition Office tends to be a little bit weaker than T Karaoke, though. So if there's a next...
Really?
I think so, yeah, for sure.
Yes.
You get like the big breach on the wall, especially with Thatcher in, right?
I would have to agree, I think.
5 seconds left.
That makes sense. Sense it makes.
Yeah, also, something about clearing Office Exhibition when you're attacking T Karaoke. Like, if it's a roam clear, for some reason it's harder to roam clear than it is to, like, execute when it's actually the bomb site. I don't know how that works, but no, it's not easy attacking on Sky, that's for sure.
I don't mind what Circular Spheres have been going for so far on Sky. They haven't really overcommitted to, like, fully sweeping the map or going direct or anything like that. They're trying to probe out their options and see what they can get. A little more tough to do on this map, but you know, certainly one good interpretation, I think, of attacking this. But Pinku has been consistently looking to put pressure directly across from the other side of the map. So once again, looking to entry in the top of the back stairs. At the same time, Jape has gone in down below.
And Pinku's got his Ash license as well. ACOG on the R4C, that's the kind of player you want. Obviously, he struggled this round, or this game so far, but he's been a big hitter since he rejoined this roster for Circular Spheres. Jape is looking to drone ahead a little bit with the Flores. Now, he can't deploy that while he's standing on a staircase. Meanwhile, Pinku does get some information and looks for the entry. Now, I believe there's one, I think it's Physics, on the Geisha balcony. It could potentially help pinch a little bit, but at the moment, he's just droning. Elsewhere, Jakenna finds the opening pick, a really good cutoff position for him, as Pinku is just trying to bait this player into leaving Geisha.
All right, C4 rings out from Realiz, but it doesn't sink this time around. The window hop-in has already happened. Meanwhile, though, Karma is there to support his teammate, taking down Pinku early on. Once again, Physics, though, is going to get the refrag onto Karma. Info on the player now swinging inside a shrine. That's the Frost of River, as I don't even know who this is. Jakenna is looking for the cutoff.
He is, and he's already found one player from this position, so they're very aware of it. He does take a bit of damage. Round in the corner is Japer, who's just trying to bait him, but River finds that kill, and with it brings things to an even numbers count. For his side, he's looking very solid here. Another peek from Shont, and he takes Jakenna's head clean off. A massive advantage now for Panic as Circular Spheres themselves begin to panic. With 1 minute to go, a massive flank from Realiz. All up to Goofed. He's been taken very low. Diffuser is not in his hands, and he is such low on HP. Realiz flashed on out, but I don't think Goofed is going to be able to convert this kill. As I say that, he does. He finds him on the retreat, and now this 1 versus 3 has suddenly become very winnable.
Info will go out, but River's fallen all the way back into the safety of the bomb site and has a shield to play to himself as well. So it's going to be all up to Guft now in the 1 versus 1. Very little HP. That is not a winnable gunfight, surely, against the shield. Unless that flash sinks.
It did for a moment, but now able to see once again. Oh, right in the corner!
Oh, no way!
He had the read, he had the positioning, and Goof gets it done. A massive clutch. And with that, Circular Spheres taking the lead and stealing a round they never should have won.
Oh, that is unreal, that round. That really looks like it went in the way of Panic. They made some great decision-making through the mid-round as well to support each other throughout the roam. They realized that River was stuck in his position and Shunt came along to help him out, get him out of his bad situation. Not just that, but Reelers was there to support the roam as well. Great position on the mute, was never really cleared out, but somehow Guft is able to land a crazy clutch. The flashbangs really paid dividends there, especially flushing a lot of players out of their positions. I don't think River realized that he was exposed for top main there when he tried to retreat back through the rotation hole. So yeah, honestly, just fantastic clutch there from Guft. And honestly, for Panic to go back and repeat this bomb site, I kind of don't blame them, right? They didn't make that many big decisions. They just lost out to a massive clutch.
Yeah.
And yeah, go back and try it again.
And for the most part, Panic's early aggression and mid-round aggression, the swings, the re-peaks, actually worked really well for them that round. I think Circular Spheres got a little bit more than they bargained for. I'm particularly thinking about Chikena, who was playing on the Shrine window, right? Like, we were spectating him when he got absolutely destroyed by, I believe it was Shon on the Echo with the Bearing 9. Like, damn, that is quite a shot to land. And it's nice to see that, like, Panic are pretty fearless when it comes to these engagements, even against a high-fragging roster like Circular Spheres. And, yeah, of course, sometimes it can come back to bite them. Panic obviously fumbling a clear round advantage there, but now a second attempt, and I do think you're right. Like, they should be pretty locked in here.
Here's Chikena from down below on the Ash, so the license has been passed over from Pinku. And have gotten in pretty early on this time around. 30 seconds of the round has passed, and they've already got 2 boots down in the ground floor. The bomb site, of course, is a repeat of the bomb site directly above them, so it does look like they will try and make use of some of this vertical. Jape, of course, being on the buck, is going to be the perfect operator to do so. Skeleton Key is out for him, and they'll see if they can flush out any of these anchors.
Opening breaches on the wall, the VIP wall now completely opened, exposing this player at the top of the stairs to a potential swing. Now Reelers has to worry about that. He does have one Banshee from Malusi to support him. I like the pick from Pinku as well here on the IQ. Going downstairs and ready to take out, mainly I'm thinking about the Echo, right? Like anyone who's on cams trying to support the roam. Info here as Japer opens up a hole in the floor. Remember, these lines of sight work both ways. You need some kind of horizontal pressure as well to guarantee the kill.
Good pressure, though, from Guft over outside of the housing. Single Rio, although a player does cross. He doesn't quite land the shots.
Oh.
Don't re-peek it, River. Don't re-peek it. Don't do it.
How's he not taking much damage? That's my question. Only one bullet landed there for Guft. I really like this play here for Circular Spheres, and now they found the pick, catching a rotation elsewhere. Karma caught out.
Info as well now on the bomb site for Guft as he's able to jump in and spots out there are in fact 2 frost mats over here. But it's Physics, that's the one with the diffuser in hand, who will be trying to convert this one. Owen looking for a run out of the main breach, but no one is going to meet them there on the other side. Doesn't really seem like the breach is going to be their main point of pressure though for the attack. The vertical is still what they are looking for with 55 seconds remaining left to go. They know they still have time to play with.
Yeah, this is a very strange, very messy round. A lot of these defenders are split. A single pick could mean the world. You saw him for a second there, Goof. Just landing enough bullets to take him down. Circular Spheres have a clear advantage and can now look for an execute on the site.
They've just made full use of that vertical play, but meanwhile, realize he was on the main stairs. That was the blind spot from all of the work through the mid-round. 30 seconds left to go. Has to be a last-ditch effort here for Circular Spheres, but with the numbers advantage, surely they can convert this one.
Unless if Reelers can go big here. Shotgun in hand in a 2v2. This could swing both directions. Shon is also fallen back. Panic are forfeiting the bomb site. Panic don't want to panic. They want to sit back and relax. Rely on the Yokais for plant denial. Chikena might have the site, but he's not going to be able to plant. There's Shon once again denying, and Chikena has no choice but to stick it. The round is all but over. Reelers secures his 4K, and Panic, a great recomposure there, gets them a round win.
Yeah, really well read there from Panic. They realized what Circular Spheres were going for, and that was that full ground floor pressure, then playing the vertical, flushing out the anchors. But what the remaining players of Panic didn't do was rotate back into the bomb site, right? They realized, okay, the bomb site isn't as safe as we thought it was. So instead, let's flip our defense and play it on the other side of the map instead, inside of Terrace, inside of Dragon, and just wait for that entry to come through. They knew that the win conditions later on, as the time ticked down, was going to be to play the objective and get the plant down. And that's where Echo comes in and is the perfect operator to deal with that. Really well played there. Great composure and discipline from the remaining players of Panic.
In a way, we've just had...
Yes.
Oh, here we go. Biggest nerd goes to Dev. Thank you, chat.
See, I'm cool.
Yeah.
I'm cool like that.
Yeah. Okay. Sure.
Yeah.
Is Mandy cool like that? Vote in chat. No.
Oh god, no, don't do that to me. Oh gosh. Okay, Panic, they've done pretty well here. But honestly, Dev, what I want to talk about is 2 rounds enough? On the attack.
For CS, you mean?
Circular CS. That's what I'm thinking right now. Like, yes, Panic had a really solid last round, and they've got maybe 1 more win on the board. But is that clutch and 1 super good attack from Circular Spheres enough?
Good question. Look, for me, there's 2 parts of it. Like, if Panic can go 3 in a row now and close out the half with 4 rounds, I actually think Panic should be in a huge advantage because they'll have that momentum on their side.
But then they have to win 3 attacks.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, 2 attacks,
suck,
sorry.
But, yeah. Well, 2 attacks to confirm OT or 3 to win in. I think Panic even winning in OT or even pushing to OT would probably be a pretty big achievement against Circular Spheres. But for me, like the big red flag here is that because Panic went Kitchen Barbecue first, if they win this round, right, they are going to have to go back to a tertiary bomb site. And I don't think they're winning that.
That's what I'm saying.
So
That's what I'm saying.
yeah, I have a feeling here
feel
that
me?
they may be paying a price for their choice of going tertiary bomb site early and giving that early advantage to CS.
Could be a bit of a dangerous world here for Panic, even though they look pretty comfortable in the server so far. Meanwhile, for Circular Spheres, though, it does look like they're changing up the philosophy a little bit. They haven't gone anymore for a sweep across the map. They're not going to try and do the roam clear. Instead, from the last round onwards to this one, it's going to be direct takes. Pinku now has got the Buck license instead of Japer, and is going to be down below with that skeleton key to try and flush out any players over on the top floor. Now, they do know that there is someone or 2 people, in fact, inside a mezzanine, so this is a pretty safe cutoff here to be playing on the rotation.
Pinku on the lurky. But here's the first pick. It is, in fact, for Goof, who is playing just outside with the OCE on the top of Black Stairs. A really strong position for him. No ACOG even. This is a really solid, tried and true kind of take to go for your T-room. As you said, a direct take that has some real teeth. And you can't really peek Goof here. First impact does miss. Pinku's position revealed puts him in a bit of an awkward spot, but it's a bit of a stalemate. Goof can't continue peeking, but Panic can't afford to lose their life to it.
This is where they kind of need to start playing the turtle game, right? From here on out, okay, they can't really do that anymore. Gufta's actually just died to the other side from River, so that OCE shield is going to stay in its position. The rest of the Circular Spheres players are going to have to try and use their utility to convert this. Now they've got the Ying charges and 2 sets of flashes as well. That should be enough to sink some of these defenders out of their position. Not only that, but there's even the vertical pressure from down below on Pinku. He sinks a good shot as well. 3-on-3 now. Even Stevens in the serve with 45 seconds left to go.
That was beautiful from Pinku. His teammates trapped that player dead in that corner, and he was just there to pick up the pieces through the vertical angle. Now Pinku comes to support the rest of the roster, and Physics actually, with the diffuser in hand, has made his way to the karaoke window where he can look for a repel in and a plant. But Karma is in the playmaking position. The flashbang keeps him at bay, but he would likely have heard the repel in and the goo mine. Karma just needs to convert this kill, spots him for a second, and takes his head clean off. Another one for Karma. Now it's all up to Pinku. Killless before this round. And while he does find a second, it is not enough. A massive round from Karma in the playmaking position to win the round for Panic.
That really looks like a Circular Spheres round through the mid-round there. They had some great pressure going out on the top floor, but then from there on out, they couldn't quite sink the right utility to actually play their idea of doing the vertical flashbangs and enabling themselves into the bomb site. That initiation just didn't quite work out for them. And for Panic, they had Karma in the perfect place at the perfect time. That flash, yes, it did sink onto him, but he still managed to kill the person swinging in anyway, and from there it just snowballed into a flurry of picks from a power position. So, unfortunately for Circular Spheres, despite their efforts through the mid-rounds, Panic stayed composed to the late round.
Yeah, so fickle, so difficult to deal with that tiny dark corner in the Geisha entrance as well. That's such a power-making position, and there's very little that you can do about it, aside from what we saw from Pinku, but guess what? Panic lost one player in that position. Karma just rotates back into it. He's got freedom to move around Geisha And with that ACOG on the MP5, there's just so much that you can do with Melusi as well. Big 3K at the end of that round for him. But guess what, Mandy? We've just seen Panic win back-to-back the primary and secondary bomb sites, which of course means that we must now return to where it all started, where all the problems began. That damn smile, I mean bomb site for Panic Esport. This kitchen barbecue, incredibly difficult bomb site to defend. And Circular Spheres could well even up this half before we move on to see them defend.
It doesn't look like Panic are changing their strategy all too much as well from the last time that we saw them defend this one. Once again, leaning into the Echo, and as far as I can tell, the lineup hasn't changed whatsoever. So I think Panic just looking for a repeat of the same idea, but trying to be a bit more cautious about it this time around. I think what worries me on the side of Panic is that the opening kill has consistently gone in the way of Circular Spheres, right? Whether it's an entry or a cutoff or something like that, Panic have always been fighting from behind, even on this defending half. So what I'd like to see here is for Karma, who's been pretty on fire since the last round, to actually have an impact here in the early round, because I really feel like that would solidify some of these defenses.
Karma has woken up as well. He loves playing this 3-speed Melusi, sorry, 3 ACOG. 3 armor ACOG Melusi. There you go, got it eventually.
So many things that change movement these days.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, I haven't seen whether he's running vertical grip. He could be running horizontal grip to increase his movement a bit, but he's gone for a recoil attachment instead. But yeah, pretty clear where Circular Spheres' push is coming from. More drones come out. Karma looking for it, struggling to confirm that kill. Oh, hang on a second. Who's that? The rat sneaking around downstairs. Shant has heard that vault, and they've just passed each other by like ships in the night. Shant is looking for Goofed, but I think the Yokai drone is actually scouting ahead.
Oh, no way.
Goofed has now been spotted. He does take out the Yokai, and Shant looking to push for this kill, but he's a 3 armor himself. He can't realistically sneak up on Goofed.
We'll keep an eye on this fight, but I think the main one that we need to pay attention to is whatever's going on the top floor, right? I've got a feeling that some kind of mini execute's got to come down pretty soon on the side of Circular Spheres, and it looks like it will happen. So they have rotated a couple players out in towards closer to that top floor hallway. Japer's going to initiate himself in with a flashbang as well, so great entry into the top floor, but they've got a converter pick from this position.
Physics is so close to landing a headshot through the wall as well. Good game sense there, but unfortunately not enough info. Here's Karma. He's the player that you called upon to have an impact in the opening. He has been revealed, he has been flashed. He's completely blind for a brief moment, and now he's back at it again. If he pushes deep, he might be able to find a pick. Owen finds the first kill. Physics has gone down, but Karma very likely to find one here as out of nowhere, Circular Spheres find 2 picks. All the more desperate now for Karma. Another flash goes out, and he cannot figure out where are Circular Spheres coming from. Big kill for Karma. Brings it back even, and River finds one. Traded back again. Owen looked good for his second, putting it all on the head of Jakenna, and Panic Esports right the wrongs of the very first round of this game. Owen's looking pumped, and they've just won the half, 4 rounds to 2.
Yeah, it was a much more cautious game there from Panic through the mid-round especially. They realized that they weren't really winning out those mid-round fights, so they decided to stop taking those fights, period. Just wait for them to come to you through the late round. Circular Spheres, yes, they landed some good flashbangs. Yes, they took some good control on the top floor. And it kind of looked like they wanted to pivot down to the ground floor towards the end there. They sort of just gave up taking the top floor. But it came back to bite them because there were still some players loitering around on stairwells that were shutting them down from getting inside of the bomb site. So really well composed there from Panic, realizing that they found their strength in the late rounds and played into that instead.
Yeah, it's funny how it works, but Circular Spheres so reliant on playing that cutoff game and looking for rotations, looking to punish rotations from Panic, and well, it meant that Panic realized, hey, we just chill, and we don't have to do much, do we? They'll just walk into us at the end of the round, like you said. But now things switch. Yeah, the shoe may well be on the other foot, as Panic have to show us what they could do on the attack. As you said, for Circular Spheres, is 2 rounds enough?
I kind of think it is, in my opinion. Last time around we saw Circular Spheres play this, they only needed to win out a whopping 1 attack against Kelt's Knights, I think it was, to actually win out the entire map. And with the brand of Siege that Circular Spheres play, I have a feeling that doing your sweep across the maps, looking for roam clears, that type of thing, is going to be pretty tough for Panic, and that looks like what they're leaning into as well. That being said,
wow.
I think they are kind of leaning into the strategy that Circular Spheres have gone for here. Mozzie mute to deny the intel, and Solace on top of that from Japer as well. So their push, their intel is completely telegraphed to the side of the defense. I've got a bad feeling for Panic on this roam clear. I just do.
Yeah, Mozzie Mute Solus is an incredible trifecta to be trying to drone into, trying to clear into. And what's more, you've got players like Jackenna who are still so happy to take aggressive peeks. Realiz is on a kind of cutoff angle at the moment though, but he hasn't opened this barricade. If he does open the barricade, he may well be able to cut Jackenna off. As Jackenna tries to go for a cross, Jackenna is actually allowed to escape.
Just watch the time tick away though. That's a minute. And they've opened the wall, and they force the roamers back, so...
Bro hadn't even used any of his utility, by the way.
Yeah.
He's only deploying it now, a minute into the round.
Oh. So, one part of the round is done, at least for the attack, but it's been a little tricky to do so far. Meanwhile, the roam isn't actually as clear as they probably think that it is as well, because Japer is still down in the ground floor. Now, whether they know or not is a different question, but here goes Shantz in through the mid-round, or through the middle of the map. Off the back of the bees, will not quite seek anyone on the other side of this gunfight. A few bullets will spray out, but don't connect.
A lot of utility expended to try and clear that position, but it is good ground to take. And believe it or not, Goof finds the opening kill. His position in drum is unfounded, unaddressed. He does take a lot of damage for it, and he's about to get pushed. There comes Karma. He's found 10 kills in this game and is second for this round. Numbers advantage in favor of Panic, and if Circular Spheres aren't careful, that could be furthered here. Japer's in an awkward position. He was cut off for a brief moment. Karma likely about to get that information. He doesn't fully check down the stairs, but he knows Geisha is clear.
So this is the hard part of the round. Now, for Panic, as they lean into their attack, where do they go? Do they actually hit the breach, or are they going from Geisha instead? There is a player inside of Geisha. That's Owen. Jackenna's got absolutely no idea that he's entered in through the other side. Karma as well is going to find his third on the rounds. It's just physics in a 1 versus 3.
And he is completely out of ammo. He's swung by Karma. Massive 4K. He's certainly back. And Panic, man, they have come out of the gate swinging the first round of attack onto the primary bomb site of Circular Spheres, and they win it in, to be frank, a dominant fashion.
Yeah, I think they converted that one really well through the mid-round. That being said, honestly, I don't think Circular Spheres got as much value out of that roam as I think that we had anticipated them to get. With the lineup that they were running, I thought they would have stayed on for a little bit longer, but it just, yeah, looked like they were kind of nervous and fell back really early. And then from then on out, Panic managed to find some great entries, Karma especially, through that mezzanine section of the map, and then we're able to convert it from there. The important thing that Panic were able to do there was actually go and rotate over to Geisha, and then realize that was probably the better point of weakness to go and attack, rather than trying to get stalled out in T room or get stalled out in mezzanine or something like that. So I think, yeah, going through the motions of the round quickly was what I thought won Panic that round.
A big stat you might have seen on your screen just then is Karma has the biggest, or the largest, or the strongest, best, whatever you want to call it, opening pick rate in the league. So he's getting the opening picks more than any other player in the league, which is actually saying a lot because we have some serious fraggers in this league. And we're obviously seeing peak Karma in this game, but that was not the case against Antic in just the last playday, Mandy. He had an EPS of only 52. He got 2 kills in the whole game, and his KOST cost was 29%. So less than a third of the rounds is his impact realistically being felt by the team. And now he's gone massive. That was a nice C4. We saw that work last time CS played this map, but not going to be happening today. But regardless, you know, Karma's the big player you want to take down if you're Circular Spheres, and he's lucky that he managed to dodge that one.
Okay, so Panic look like they're thinking about a direct attack with the lineup and the way they've postured themselves around the map. So Realiz has lent into the idea of playing Ossa, potentially. Meanwhile, Owen is here on what looks like a cutoff. But to me, it looks more like he's just preparing to get Geisha wall open. Yeah, so there's a thermal charge already on the wall because they want to, you know, try and attack in closer in towards the bomb site of Karaoke and Tea Room, but there's a mute jam on the other side, so he's got to wait for some of his teammates to come over and help him get that one off.
Another big opening pick for Goofed. He's been dominating the opening engagements in this match. Or Karma, he does find the reply, and Pinku goes down, who's having quite a quiet game. Quite the opposite to Karma. What a great impact nade. Realiz shield does get taken down, and swiftly he is dispatched with as well. Another big impact from Goofed. He's already had a big clutch this game as well. If it wasn't for that, this would be 1-6 the scoreline. Karma replacing that position. He's a man you can trust to nail the critical shot.
Circular Spheres, though, in the man advantage, don't want to throw this one away. They're just biding their time, waiting for it to tick away. Don't take these gunfights if you don't need to. It's not necessary. Meanwhile, on the other side, for Panic, Shant has made his way in through the adjacent side of the map instead, as Owen is looking to put the pressure out on Geisha, but with that wall, I believe, still closed, it's going to be pretty tricky for Panic.
Oh. Karma.
Don't peek Karma. Don't peek Karma.
Do not peek Karma. Absolutely not. Big impact. The back of that flash, he's taken some huge map control. There is still a player inside of Drum. Japer just around this corner. Look how deep he's allowed to get. Japer needs to be there for the refrag, but Karma gets a 3K on the round before he's finally taken down. Massive value out of the massive impact player for Panic. Just 2 players up for each side. Circular Spheres, their advantage, has dissipated into thin air. Sean's had a big game so far as well, and he's got info on the back of the Bs. Owen, I believe, still on rappel. Oh, here comes Sean. He's good for one. There's no doubt about it. Panic on the verge of a match point. Jekena must do what Goof did in the first half and come up big with a 1 versus 2 clutch. But as the time ticks away, he can isolate these 1v1s. It's on Sean to cover. But there is an angle. There is an angle for Sean. And the diffuser has been taken on down. The plant confirmed. And Jekena gets that player. Now on the retake, but Shant is there for him. Panic are up 6-2 against Circular Spheres. The glow up of the lowest seeded team in this league as they're about to take down one of the best teams from last year.
Oh man, that was an unreal attack there from Panic, really, especially from Karma in through the mid round. Look, you don't peek Karma, but Karma peeks you, man, through the mid round. What can you do?
One?
And that's what I'm saying.
How did he kill the second one?
He goes around, he peeks Physics, who's like sitting there holding the angle through the wall. Okay, you know, whatever. And then he rounds to the corner. There's another guy there, and he kills him as well.
Insane.
What is going on, man? If you don't take down Karma, Karma's coming for you, mate. That's all I'm saying.
What can you even say for Circular Spheres there? It's like, guys, play your crossfire. It's like, oh, we did play our crossfire.
But we suck.
It took 3 players to kill this one dude.
Oh, God. Yeah, honestly, big round from him. But I think, honestly, credit to the way that they played that in round as well, 2 versus 2 situation. I think Sean realizing off the back of the info and him actually going in from the pinch on the other side was able to collect the kill onto the player inside of Geisha. And then just playing it slow, I think, really, into that last player in the 1 versus 2. Owen, I think, has been tied first now for plants in the league since the beginning of this playday. So I think after getting that plant down in a great situation there, he's probably first place in playing the objective now in this league. So, like, well played to Panic. They definitely know how to play their late game, especially when it comes to, you know, getting the bomb down in a safe spot. Not an easy spot to go and plant yourself in, especially when there's a tiny hole and a soft wall right next to you. But, like, yeah, you know, well-read situationally.
Panic have had some fantastic fundamentals. And that's typically what we say sets apart a lot of these OCE teams. Like Bliss, yeah, they're great for so many reasons, but their fundamentals are just phenomenal. And we would say maybe that about something like Antic and say, oh, Antic have got fundamentals and fragging capability. Well, Panic, they've got fundamentals as a team. They know how to play these 2v2s, but they've also got Karma, who's currently going 15-6. So what can you do against a player like that? Well, I guess you can run out on him. Just kill him. About bloody time. Circular Spheres will be celebrating in the voice chat right now. The biggest player on Panic has been taken down. Thank God.
Calm down. That's exciting news. Okay, so it looks like Panic are looking for a direct take into the bomb site. Now, Karma going down early does make things a bit easier for Circular Spheres. Panic as well being pretty brave about getting that wall open with the super shorty. You don't really like stand there on the external wall and just shoot it down, but it works for them anyway, so they're safe for now. But they have to posture through the mid-round to try and land this execute from here on out. So they don't have that much hard reach left, as I understand it. Actually, maybe they do. I can't remember if Owen's used anything on the walls yet.
Well, they do have 2 of Shant's secondary hard reaches
he's used
as well.
1. Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah, okay. So he's gotten open this single wall, which is good. But it's pretty, like, not the easiest situation from them from here on out, right? Maybe they land some good nades on the Deimos or something.
Hang on. Oh, what are you doing? What are they doing? Great question. Goof is continuing his reign of terror. He is now hit double digits and exceeded him at 12 kills. A massive 2K run out. Great usage there of the impact to enable that. And while there was a player cutting him off, it was just far too little from Reelers and far too late. And now Circular Spheres have essentially won this round 4v2.
I mean, that's what I'm saying, man. You're not just like standing on the balcony, like opening the wall with your super shorty. That's like danger mode if I've ever seen it, right?
I reckon those two poor souls that died to Goof there are just like, Reelers, what are you watching, man? Because he did refrag eventually, but he was on rappel. He's the man that should have gotten that kill much earlier.
Yeah. Yeah, look, Dev, honestly, I think I might write this round off, to be honest. I think, some interesting motions being played out here from Panic. And, yeah, I don't know, Circular Spheres just looks comfortable. I don't really know what else to say. I think, yeah.
Ooh, did I just see a player?
Strange things.
I think I just saw Physics walk into a mute jammer to protect himself from the Deimos's tracker. That's kind of cool. And yeah, the round does end in Circular Sphere's favor. You're right, the round really was over after that big 2K. So, Circular Spheres will not get 7-2'd, but are they going to be able to clean sweep from here on out? Like, they lost 2 defenses in a row at the start of their half. Can they clinch 4 in a row to try and push OT?
Honestly, mate, Panic, come on. Don't fumble this one now.
Get it done.
Get it done, man. On your ego. It's hard on the attack, but like, come on, man. Get it done. They can do it. I believe.
Yeah, we saw Panic manage to clinch out an OT win against 6 targets the other day. They did lose in the end in their Esports game, which was very close. But regardless, like Panic have got 1 point. And I think that would put them above Circular Spheres. Currently, we're 5th and 6th on the standing between CS and Panic. But yeah, Panic realistically should win this game, and they should get all 3 points from it.
This is a pretty dangerous game as well. I think the desk was alluding to earlier. This is essentially, like, the winner of this is essentially securing themselves out of that bottom 2, nearly, as I understand it, right? Because right now the bottom 2 is what, like
6
T
targets and
Kelton's Knights, right?
Yeah.
So if you've won this one out, you've pretty much, like, you're in the clear, you know, after this one. You've beaten out your nearest rival. So, especially for Circular Spheres, having lost those 2 early on, right? And being pretty far down, as I understand it, on round difference. Okay, never mind, Panic are low on round difference. How does that happen?
Great question. Oh, Panic did get 7-0'd yesterday, last week. By Antic, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
so that probably messed with their round difference a bit. But
that is a shame.
yeah, I mean, Circular Spheres also, like, yeah, they got 7-0'd twice, but they also then 7-0'd another team and won 7-3. So this is not a good game for Circular Spheres round difference, even if they are able to come back. But it's funny, this is either going to be a quick 7-3 in favor of Panic, or it's Circular Spheres' first close game so far. Because they haven't had a single close game. They've either dominated or been dominated.
Oh dear. All right, only goes one way or the other for this team, apparently. So here goes Japer, holding on to the hop-in through the Shrine window. That's Karma on the other side, the Danger Man himself. 15 and 7, very much leading the grid on kills at the moment. The info will come through, but actually that's a defender drone instead, so I suppose Japer will be safe here for a little bit longer.
Maybe like a late round C4 or plant, I don't know what that info was set up for. Oh, there's a ping here.
Frag him.
Nice swing. It is Karma. He's the player you want to take down, but he only takes a tiny bit of damage, to be honest, so that's not nearly enough. And yeah, if you don't kill him, then he's going to kill you. Big kill there for Karma. 16. I can't believe it. 16 kills in 10 rounds.
I'm a bit nervous here for Panic. I don't know if they realize just how many players are still left in this top floor, whereas Japer seems to know exactly what's going on. Players about to entry in through the top of back stairs, and there goes Pinku to take down Shantz. So if they're not careful from here on out, Circular Spheres could certainly crawl their way back into this one.
This is where it goes down the toilet for Panic. Karma's been taken out. Reelers flanked at the top of the back stairs. Owen still has the diffuser, but both of these last 2 players are outside the building, and that means that any form of map control that Panic had is now dissipated. Circular Spheres have really re-established their dominance over that top floor now. Was it ever really gone? Perhaps not. And it's basically looking for exit frags at this point for Panic.
They fumble in the bag, damn.
They are, Mandy.
They fumble in the bag. I'm scared for Panic.
Sheesh.
Oh, 3K in the round as well.
Wow.
No, don't give him another one. I've just given him 4. Dev.
He's pretty close to overtaking Karma now, I reckon.
Not good.
He's not good. It's
dangerous.
He's got to be on like 14, 15 kills now.
Yeah,
and
probably.
Yeah, Karma's on 16, and
we can
it's
get a
slowing down a
scoreboard
little
check.
bit. We can get a scoreboard check. Here we go.
Scoreboard check.
They're actually both on 16 now.
Damn.
Wait, can I see that again? 7 assists. Can I just say, Legion is the most fraudulent operator in this bloody game. This guy has got 7 assists, and he's been playing Legion every round. Coincidence? I think not.
That's funny from you. And even with the Legion nerfs, right, like you can actually see them on the ground. They're clear as day. They're no longer clear Lego bricks. They're solid Lego bricks now. So
yeah, but they also like absolutely mince you to pieces now. You step on one, and it's like a super Lego.
Yeah, they are absolutely dangerous now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how popular it's been, Deb, but like the Legion mines on the corner of the doorway seem to be the way to go.
That's
days,
very
right?
meta at the minute.
That
yeah,
seems to be the way to go. And yeah, that's quite frustrating, Cody.
Yeah. I gotta say, like, even though Karma's been a big player, I'm pretty confident. I've tracked a lot of the opening kills, not every single one, but Goofed, I swear he's gotten every second opening kill this game. He has been unstoppable for Circular Spheres, and that is now 2 rounds in a row. Notably, Circular Spheres went to the tertiary bomb site there, because, you know, they lost this T-Room Karaoke bomb site back-to-back at the start of this half. Now, Kitchen Barbecue's locked, Exhibition's locked. They've got to go back here. Or they could go Master, I guess, but that's a huge risk. They're going back to the bomb site they got destroyed on 2 times in a row. This is the discerning round right here.
Pinku has decided to go Ella instead. So
he's going to die. He's going to die with no kills this round.
How do you know that? What if he goes crazy,
done,
mate?
It's what he's done 8 of the rounds so far. I love Pinku, but he's been shown up right now by Goofed and by Karma on the opposition.
Oh god. Well, I don't know, man. Pinku's been pretty good up until this game. Maybe he just like woke up on the wrong side of the bed or something, but that's okay because everyone else like woke up on the right side of the bed.
It's true.
Anyway, okay, so I think like you've been pointing out, this is pretty important for Circular Spheres because if they lose this, they will lose. That's important, right? So going for a roam across the map seems to be the play that they're going to go for. Japo is taking a little bit of damage early on the side of Panic. Like, honestly, Panic have been pretty good at this early game so far. It makes me a little nervous for Circular Spheres.
It's just crazy to reflect on the fact that round 3, Jakenna got a 1 versus 2 clutch that he should never have been able to get. And this game would have been over a long time ago if that had not been the case. Oh, Karma's got an inkling. Speaking of Jakenna, look at this little rat right here. Oh, he takes down Karma. Finds his 10th kill at the same time.
Karma down, Karma down.
Karma down, lads. Karma is down. And Goofed is still up and ready to frag out. He's ready to overtake Karma. We've been singing Karma's praises all day, but he's about to be overtaken.
Karma's crazy.
This game has been a bit of a Karma craze.
Is Panic Esports just all Karma? That's the question. Right? Like, from here on out, Karma's down. Last time that this happened, Panic Esports just like fumbled the bag, right? They all like sat outside of Breach and they all died. Is it going to happen again? Or can they come back from the situation?
No, Sean is the man. Sean is the man to do it. Never mind. They're all dead. They're all going to die. Everybody is going to die.
Info. There's a player there. Kill him.
Yeah, Jakenna's still going to find another kill. Jakenna's going to find another kill and then die. Never mind. Jakenna is dead. Jakenna down. But here comes Goofed again. And there's a very real chance that this guy hits the 20 bomb. Leaving Karma in the dust. He's on 18 kills. And he's got an inkling. Bit of damage. Bit of damage, big C4. River, he shot it out and then he shot down Goofed as well. Massive play from River. And now maybe it is possible. Maybe there's a chance. Goofed is down. Jakenna is down. And it comes down to the 3 bot fraggers on Circular Spheres against the 2 bot fraggers from Panic.
Oh man, Fools were not cooked in that last gunfight, but that's all right. So far for Circular Spheres, they're still holding strong to the bomb site, and that is what matters right now. Some great crossfires being established as well between the remaining 3 players. Essentially, they're going to put the 2 entry points in between these 3 players, right? So Physics is right in the middle of them, then Pinku's got a crossfire onto top back, and then not only that, but Geisha's being held onto as well, right? So essentially, it should be pretty hard here for Panic to actually enter into the building.
River's using a smoke to try and cover up these feet holes. Tracks could be pretty impactful as well as... Oh, no, never mind. Just going to walk straight into Pinku, who finds 2 kills.
Pinku, mate.
I was wrong. You
were wrong.
I was wrong. He farmed with the Scorpion. And somehow this game is still going. We've gone the distance.
Fumbling.
12 rounds.
They're fumbling.
Panic are absolutely fumbling the bag.
Oh, it's all gone horribly wrong. We sung them their praises, and then they got to their final attack round, and then it all fell apart.
And it all goes back
all
to
fell
round
apart.
3 when Jakenna got a 1v2 clutch that he should never have gotten. This would have been a 7-2.
Oh,
If not for that clutch,
no.
this would be over.
No.
7-2. And instead, Panic are sitting here after losing 3 attacks in a row, going back, being forced to attack the hardest bomb site. And I'm just calling it right now, like, they are cooked. This is Goof's game.
They're cooked. Is that it?
That's the technical term.
That's it. That's the cost. We're done. You know, throw it all out the window. Yeah, okay. So Circular Spheres, they look pretty good now, right? They're back into it. They've got their mojo. They're playing some good defense. But if they lose this round, they could still lose the game. And that's what matters right now, right? 3 points are still on the card for Panic. All they need to do is win one attack. One last attack. Now, when you're talking about one attack on any of the map, but Skyscraper, you'd think that's pretty doable, right? But Skyscraper, winning one attack, not that easy. Not very easy.
No, 1-2 back-to-back to kick off this half. Where is the form from 4 rounds ago? Panic are surely shaken in their boots. 3 losses in a row. Karma has been so quiet. He's off the Yana now as well. He's onto the Finca. I'm not sure what the idea is with that. This spear is not quite the machine that the ARX is.
Maybe he just wants nades, right? Because like you're Iena, and you've got ACOG, but you've got flashbangs. But if you're
Wait, it's
what's this? Finca, you're ACOG, you have nades.
yeah.
That's different. Nades are kind of important on this map, I reckon. I mean, so are flashbangs, but like sinking power positions, that's a thing. That's
Big.
important. What are you doing, Jakenna? Who's
What are
beating
you
Karma?
doing?
Who is beating
What are you
Karma?
doing?
Why leave them beat
Karma's
Karma?
back! Ladies and gentlemen, Karma is back! He's just found 4. He's been traded, but there is no way in this world that Goof wins this. A 1v5. But he's found his first. Next step is a 20 bomb. And after that, it's to win the round and push to overtime. Here comes the diffuser. Here comes the nail in the coffin. What in God's name was that? Karma, Farmer. And with that, Panic have confirmed 3 points.
Mate, I'll tell you what, this is Karma Esports. This ain't Panic Esports, bro. Any round that Karma has gone in, and he's gone the first pick, he's then gone and converted the round after that, mate. I'll tell you what, who is peaking Karma? Why have 4 of them peaked Karma? One by one.
The whole team. It's like, you know, when you're playing like basketball or something, like, let's do some 1v1s. It's like, hey, anyone want a 1v1 Karma? Oh, you lost. Okay, how about you? Oh, no, you lost. He just 1v1 everyone. And he could have gotten all 5 realistically. They just kept swinging him. And we're going to swing this back onto the desk.
Well, you do need a farmer if it's going to be a farmers league, and Karma definitely fits that role well and truly. I don't think I've seen a 2-second period quite like that before, Jake. That was a little bit absurd.
I did warn everyone.
You did?
I did at the start of the show. I said, don't put your channel points in this region. And I'm sure there's a lot of unhappy people right now because Circular Spheres were the favourites. And so we did also say Karma was going to be the one. If they're going to win it for Panic, it was going to be mainly because of him. It was all because of him. 20 bomb, backing up what we saw from him last week. Right now, he is making a statement that he's one of the best players in this region.
Yeah, and I think that there's more than enough warrant there. And the fact that it's even on what we would consider one of the weaker teams in the region even goes to, I guess, compound that, Guz, just showcasing what his, I don't want to say glow-up has been, but it's certainly a glow-up.
Yeah, I mean, what an entertaining game as well. You had the dynamic with Goofed as well, who actually found himself in more entry battles than Karma ultimately, or may have ended up being the same, evened out at the end. Goofed went +4 on entry, 90% cost. So it was a real intense battle between the two. And despite CS getting off to a great start in the match, it then started to peter out. Then they battled back. So a really close game. But again, Panic able to pull off another 7-5 victory in this league. Every point is going to be really critical, especially if they are to re-enter the conversation for top 2. So this was a big result from them. And Karma, I mean, holy shit. Like, what an incredible player, and continues to show up in these big matches. He may have had an off week last week, but the ability to rebound is just phenomenal.
I was waiting for you to say something. You don't want to say anything this time. I heard you go, you gave me one of these ones. You went, And then you stop.
No, I think that's called breathing.
Is that what breathing sounds like when you hit 30?
When you hit 30.
He's in his 30s now, so
Yeah, I think it's a bit of an overshadow for Gooft. Obviously had a very good game himself and almost looked like he was going to be the catalyst for why Circular Spheres were going to send this one to overtime and get themselves back from a rather large deficit. We were sitting here on the couch being like, what the hell's going on with Circular Spheres? They looked shocking after the first couple of rounds. First couple of rounds were fine.
Yeah.
They got a couple of attacking rounds, largely on the tertiary. Sure, they were up 2-1, and then we saw the comeback clearly happen on the defense for Panic, and then they just continued that all the way into the second half and got themselves, I think it was a 6-2 lead, and then we saw that brought all the way back to 6-5, so we started to think, okay, well, this is not quite going to go the way for Panic. Devin Mandy is sitting there the whole time saying, if Karma's dead, the round is over. It turned out to be that way. But why, in the last round, you got 4 people solo peeking that office wall?
We'll never know.
Like,
that's Circular Spheres for you, baby. But we do have Sean on the line, so let's welcome him in and get a little bit more insight as to what we've just seen. Sean, obviously, a very close game, all things considered. First 3 rounds were looking a little bit rocky. We're a little bit scared for you seeing Circular Spheres pick up 2 attacking rounds. Can you give me some insight into what's happened at the start of the game there?
Yeah, look, I think we wanted to take a bit of a risk going to barbecue first, sort of just throw them off a little bit. I don't know, it actually caught us off a little bit how slow they played. We were expecting them to go a bit quicker, that's sort of what those guys do. But they sort of worked it quite slow for what we were expecting, so maybe just adjusting to that a little bit for us.
Sean, I just want to sort of take it back to the map veto discussion here. When I saw these two, I saw your guys versus CS, and I'm thinking 2 good, young, fragging teams. Fragging seems to be the name of the game. And even in this game, it was, when you kind of look at what your teammate was able to do. I forgot his name for a second. Sorry. And goofed on the other side. Sorry, I did a goof there. Why Skyscraper, though? I think it's such a structured map. Did you guys not really want to go to the more open ones?
Yeah, probably not. I think like on their roster, they probably have a bit more fragging power than us. So like, I think we have a bit more of that ability to play structured. Like, I mean, 4 of our players, like only Karma's the only guy who hasn't played support. Like everyone's played support on our team. So we feel a bit more comfortable going there. We felt like maybe we could bring that strategy game a little bit better than they could, rather than bringing a better fragging game. But looks like Karma did that anyway. So yeah.
Just looking at the stat line for this game, I'm actually looking at you guys and the entry number more specifically. 3 of your players actually went negative on entry in this game. Now, on Skyscraper, normally that's an absolute death sentence, but you guys have recovered really nicely through the mid-round. Is that a strength of you guys at the moment, do you think?
Yeah, we actually did quite well, to recover in the mid-rounds. I don't know, like, for us at the moment, sometimes it just goes away from us in the mid-round or comes to us. It's sort of like on the day sort of thing. So, I mean, it was pretty good that we were able to pull that back, but, I mean, Karma's always getting into insane amounts of entry engagements. Like, that dude's just always fighting someone.
Obviously, Karma's going to get a lot of the plaudits, mate, but in terms of what you and the remaining members of your team are able to do in enabling him, is it down to team communication, coordination? Like, what is it? Because it's not just Karma go in and click heads. I mean, that last round it certainly was, but every other round, like what goes on for you guys as a roster, as a team, that enables him to just go off like that?
I think it's got to be us just setting up to give him that opportunity where he's not being held by crossfires, and he's got that info with him or that utility there, so he can sort of isolate his picks. And oftentimes we also have a trade behind him as well. So even if he doesn't do too well, we can make a trade happen. We sort of just pivot off him a lot because he's able to make so much happen.
Well, he certainly made a lot happen in this game, that's for damn sure, Sean. You guys are now on 8 points and looking really, actually, as part of the contending pack for second place, which is just absolutely absurd to think. That's, I mean, that's the reaction you just gave me then. That was my reaction when I started seeing it. We had you guys pinned down near the bottom at the start, and that's by no means a representation of you individually or any of the players, but obviously it's a competitive league, and you guys have turned out. So a huge congratulations to you guys on the first 5 play days, and I think you've nearly secured your spot in the playoffs. Obviously, there's still 2 more play days to go, but is there anything you'd like to say before we let you go?
I've got a list of shout-outs that I need to give here. I need to give a shout-out to Jack Scurry and Shan. I think the CS guys will like that one. And otherwise, shout-out to the team. Like, we've been doing pretty good so far. Like, I'm really impressed with us. We had pretty low expectations, and just sort of didn't want to put too much pressure on ourselves. So but we're doing quite well, so very happy with the guys.
Before you go,
shout out to everyone
before
watching.
you go quickly, Sean, what do you do with the expectations now, though? Because they're there. You guys are a very good team, and you're making waves. How do you handle the expectations now?
I think we just sort of try and not put that pressure on ourselves now. It's like, yeah, we won the games, but we won them because we weren't expecting to do, we weren't like, oh, we have to win this game. It was like, look, we just got to do our best, and then, hopefully we get through, sort of thing,
Mate, that's well spoken, to be fair, because you're now in a pretty crazy predicament, heading into playoffs. You guys will start to have a target on your back as well, but we'll let you go. So again, congratulations on the victory.
Thanks so much, guys.
Let's hope we're speaking to you again.
Thanks, Sean.
Thank you.
Thanks. See ya.
I think it's something that a lot
What
of
a
teams,
well-spoken gentleman.
Honestly, Sean, and a lot of insight as well. And this is, again, it's actually becoming a little bit of a hallmark of some of these OCE interviews. Is we're starting to get some newer faces in the region that are all starting to take their own shape, and it's great to see. There was a while there where we had just a void of any kind of character or personality, but things are starting to turn around.
Wow.
92% cost from Goof. That is back-to-back performances with a ridiculously absurd EPS, but it's only matched by Karma.
Yeah, I mean, that's just insane. Again, to reiterate, the entry stat, the first kill number for Circular Spheres in this match is very, very good. So lacking conversion in the mid to late round, and we saw some examples of that. There was that round over in Karaoke where Diffuser's in the wrong spot, and just examples like that where if they tidy it up, if they are able to continue to enable the likes of Goofed and Jkenna in the early round, then they should be able to convert much more going forward.
Yeah, I mean, I think this was a really good match. I don't want to be too negative here, but in terms of what was a difference maker, that's not just, Karma and what we saw from Goofed. Is it maybe someone like a Pinku? Did we not get enough from him in that particular game? I'm not too sure. Karma, of course, does get the MVP from the winning team somehow. Even after having the most kills and that being a 20 bomb, he still had the lower cost and the lower EPS in comparison to Goof, which is insane. The multi-kills, but more importantly, the impact of his kills. The fact that when he was dead, they were losing rounds. That is what the most valuable player means.
Again, he had a 2-3 entry, negative on entry, yet he still was able to rack up 20 kills in this matchup and have a 75% cost as well, which is just wild. 5 multi-kills on top of all of that just goes to show that his impact mid to late round, facilitated by the team, was just phenomenal, and goes back to the point we're making in the pre-show. If Karma's on and the team is activated and ready to put him in those positions or trade him out, so dangerous.
Yeah, only way but up now for Panic, and those expectations are real for them. I looked at this as a genuine 50-50, could have easily made a case for both. He went Panic, I went Circular Spheres. We both went Circular Spheres, and for good reason, thinking that maybe after their win last week that they would be back. But as evident in this league, last week's results are irrelevant. That's just the truth of it. Unless you're Team Bliss, the consistency hasn't quite been there for a lot of these teams. It's now on a team like Panic. Are they going to have a blunder? Because they had a blunder last week. They got 7-0'd. I mean, I know that was Antic, and Antic looked great, and they bounced back themselves, but that's still a blunder. So a good bounce back for Panic this week. But who's to say that we now don't see Circular Spheres? Who are they playing tomorrow?
They have the old man LFO.
They could win that game. Will they? I got no idea.
Guys, I saw you biting at the bit to make a comment there.
I think Panic have the most intriguing run home, right? They have Carlton's Knights tomorrow. You can all but pencil that in for a victory. They'd have to have a very off day to lose that. Sets us up then for the final play day against Bliss. Now, that could potentially be a game for first spot. And if Panic have, again, another impressive day, could also be potentially fighting for second still at that point as well. So they'll have a bit on the line. Do we see that pressure creep in? It's clearly been something that they've been avoiding or deflecting so far, which is in a positive sense, and they're not letting it get to them. But that matchup for the final play day could be really intriguing.
Yeah, I think that there's a lot of action still to come, but the anomaly is now becoming a certainty. Panic are no team to push past, and they're going to have a few more games to prove what they've got. Just as we have, I was going to say 6 more games. We've got 3 more games for 6 more teams coming up after this.